Greetings, Mindcrafters, and welcome to another Mindcraft discussion here on this glorious day. Absolutely bluebird, Northern Vermont, gorgeous. Oh my God. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I am beyond excited, elated, ecstatic to be with you here in the woods on this day. And it's just G and I, fortunately, because I do love people very, very much. Not in the woods, though. I'm okay with being with G in the woods. Although the people we do occasionally bump into are very cool. But we rarely bump into anyone. So, anyway, where's that little flicker on the screen? I don't know. So, it is absolutely intoxicating out here today. It's about 16 degrees. There's little G behind me. Say hi, little G. Hi, everybody. There he is. There he goes. People, often use the word intoxicating for meaning, with substances, and it's often a negative reason, when the word intoxicating can absolutely be used for this. I mean, check out the graphics. Holy. Okay, so, this is really a good topic that I was feeling today. I was kind of checking in with my friends, Oprah and John Kabat-Zinn. Oprah is, and they're both two of my faves. Oprah and I are extremely close. She just isn't aware. And we're talking about mindfulness in everyday life, just everyday living, because sometimes people think it's yet something else to add to their to-do list. And John Kabat-Zinn himself would say, if that's where you're at, just don't bother, don't do it. Because mindfulness is about being, not doing. You can be mindful anywhere. Definitely out here. I'm not sure if you can hear the brook going in this winter wonderland. It's, oh my gosh, you hear some birds, and you can be present in the woods. You can be present doing the dishes. You can be present, hopefully, in a conversation. Hopefully, driving, in the shower, eating, walking. Just being present. People tend to think it's like other forms of meditation where you have to sit crisscross applesauce, as my kids would say. No, you don't. You can. You don't, though. And so, a couple things I just wanted to talk about today with mindfulness are super basic, because it's how mindfulness absolutely involves the body. Even if you're doing the dishes or you're in the shower or whatever, it involves sort of an awareness of the body. It involves awareness in general, because mindfulness is about being alert and awake and engaged in your life. It's not about sleeping. It's hard to, it's like a paradoxical or something. It sounds like oxymoronic maybe, that it's you're alert and engaged yet relaxing. And again, mindfulness is not about necessarily sitting or lying down or standing like other meditations do. Basically, mindfulness is meditation on the go, right? So it's about being alert and awake and restful at the same time, if that's making any sense. And when you get good at it, and who else says this? Oh, I forget who else says this, but doesn't really matter. When we get, like, anything we practice, we inevitably get better at, right? And so we can get better at taking deep, big breaths, because breathing is important other than the obvious, okay? Because it's an immediate neurological reset, and it brings the mind back in the now from next Tuesday or last Tuesday or 10 years ago or 5 years from now or whatever. It's a neurological reset. So if we do this nice and deep, we are immediately brought back into the present. And you watch John Kabat-Zinn doing this when he's doing talks. Kind of like disappears for like a few seconds sometimes, because he's just centering. And that brings me to the check-ins and the drop-ins. And so when we get good at this, what is his name? Sunyat. Anyway, he's I'm thinking of the other guy. He's on a YouTube I that I actually use for my Mindcrafters. It's from Google, because they actually have mindfulness people. You know how Google's really good at that, right? Taking care of their employees with they got the baristas right there, the massage people. They also bring in mindfulness people. And his title is something like something in creating world peace or something. What a cool job. So he leads them in mindfulness. And so he's the one, Sunyat. Anyway, I forgot his name, but you can look it up. It's on it's a YouTube with John Kabat-Zinn and Anderson Cooper. It's like 10 minutes long. It's really good. Anyway, he talks about being able to drop in at any moment, which is such a cool idea. So you can be at work, you can be anywhere, and people don't even have to know necessarily. You can duck into your office or even the restroom. Nobody's going to bother you in the stall, right? And you can close your eyes and just, even for 15 seconds. We can also do this if we're sitting in really boring, professional meeting, right, at your workplace, no one has to know you're deep breathing. You can stare at them, smile, nod, but you're dropping in. You're just dropping in and being in that moment in that boring staff meeting or boring whatever meeting. And you can be in the moment even on a date or whatever and just drop in. And even just doing this on the video, I feel like 1,000 times better just doing that. And then the check-in thing is important. The check-in thing, Jon Kabat-Zinn encourages checking in with yourself all day long, checking in with the body. Be in your body, in the shower, walking, driving, at work if you're sitting at a desk. Walk down the hallway, go outside, anything. But to check in with yourself once an hour. And he says if you can check in with yourself, basically, remember, he's present most of his day. If you can check in and get really good at it and check in every half hour, every 15 minutes. We're not talking about a lengthy conversation, just... and have this awareness. Doesn't have to involve any words at all. Just checking in means just sort of having that awareness of being in your body, in the restroom, in your office, at lunch, outside, in the car, wherever. Because here's the thing. We talked about this, only what we attenuate to makes it to long-term memory. We know that for sure. And Jon Kabat-Zinn was talking about this morning. I call it autopilot or broccoli mode. He calls it autopilot too. When we're just zoning out like that, we are missing out on our lives. This is it. This is what we have right now is all we've got. And, oftentimes people, they'll say, oh, I'm too busy for that. I'm too busy for yoga or these other ways to be mindful. It can be, I mindful ski frequently. I mean, think of the alternatives. It's not great to not mindful ski. Up comes a tree and then, you're sort of immediately brought into mindfulness, right? The present moment. But people, when they say, oh, I'm too busy, who's in charge of that? The world didn't take over and make you too busy. You can think that, but that's very delusional. We are the only ones who can control our level of busyness. And I'm not saying it's easy, right? We've talked about that simple, easy thing. Is it that simple? Yes, because no one's in charge of us but us. And that doesn't mean life doesn't throw curveballs and all that stuff. Of course it does. When it comes down to it, however, we control how much we're doing in this life. I mean, that's just a fact. And so, and Jon Kabat-Zinn talks about this. You get to the end of your life and, I was too busy. You want to say that? I certainly don't want that to be my story. For darn sure. I want to go sliding into home, safe. What a great ride, Bank account empty maybe, margarita glass empty, because you can't take any of it with you anyway. Well, she had a heck of a time, that's the whole thing. And so really, that is my point. Drop in, check in, because, I don't think, who said this? Paul Tsongas said this, I think, the politician. Does anyone ever say, or who says, at the end of it all, or on the memorial stone, let's just say, gee, I wish I spent more time at the office? Probably not. Even if you love what you do, and I do love what I do, I don't even think of it as work. Though seriously, it's, we're doing all of this for the whole purpose of being engaged in our lives, and being able to love ourselves and other people and golden retrievers. I mean, that is the whole point. All right. So drop in, check in. Mindfulness is a love affair with life. So jump on the train. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful, exquisite, absolutely intoxicating Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.